When I was 18, I went to Los Angeles for the first time. When I was 19, I went back. I'm 20 now, and I was supposed to go again this year, but life had other plans. I like to think I handle change well. I've certainly been through a lot in my life, especially in college. But when my third trip was put in limbo this year, I didn't take it well. But my love language is quality time, and there's nothing I love more than getting out of the house and being around people. That's what made me fall in love with LA the first 2 years. The first year I went with 9 other students. One of them was my friend Rebecca, who I had grown close to the previous semester. Another was Emily, who I had met when I first came to college but hadn't kept up with much. The rest of the group were complete strangers, including the professor leading the trip. Over the course of my first trip to Los Angeles, not only did I form a close bond with my fellow students, I fell in love with every person we met. Not a romantic love, of course, but an admiration kind of love. Every person we met, be it a cinematographer, producer, engineer, production designer, was doing what I dreamed of doing, sharing their art and creativity with the world, and getting paid to do it. The second year was no different, but now the group doubled. I knew a handful of this group before the trip, but once again, I found myself with a new family of talented and creative people, some of whom I now consider some of my best friends. And like the first year, we met more and more creatives, living and working, thriving and surviving. I remember the first time I went to the Griffith Observatory. It was a hectic drive up, and when we made it to the top, we jumped out and were told we only had a few minutes before we would need to move the car and leave. Those few minutes were all I needed. Looking out over Los Angeles brought me a feeling that has only been replicated the second time I found myself there. Looking out over the lights of LA, a glow that spreads for miles and miles. It reminded me of how I felt as a kid when the lights would come up in a movie theater as the credits rolled. A feeling of accomplishment, inspiration, a burst of creative energy. Seeing the names of the filmmakers on the screen and wanting to see my name up there one day. I saw that in the lights of LA. My name written in streetlights, on the blank stars at the Hollywood Walk of Fame, replacing the letters of the Hollywood sign. I saw myself here, in Los Angeles, surrounded by creative people who didn't let a society that tells you you have to be a doctor, lawyer, or engineer to be successful to stop them, who pursued their dreams despite being threatened with the starving artist label. I don't mind being a starving artist. If I'm hungry, it means I've eaten before. It means I've felt success and aspire to feel it again. I have the drive to work harder every day to achieve my dreams. You could simply be an artist and create art, but to be a starving artist means you are looking forward, knowing that the best is yet to come. That's what I remind myself every day. Even as I remember that my visit back to my favorite city on the planet may not happen this year, there are brighter days ahead. I'll be back one day, surrounded by my favorite people in a city that exudes creativity and passion. So I guess this is my love letter to LA, and to all of the friends I've made here, and to myself. I learned so much about myself in this city. I learned that I am passionate and compassionate. I'm a leader and a supporter. I'm a dreamer and a pragmatist. Life is so much more than black and white, one thing versus another. Complications, loopholes, starting and stopping, falling in reverse, and speeding through time. You never know how life will go, or who you'll end up spending it with. But I know I have myself, some pretty awesome friends, and a whole life of storytelling ahead of me. So thank you to the City of Stars for showing me all of this. Hope to see you soon.